Hello and welcome back, Exiles. It is Ziggy D once again here, returning for the next of the semi-finals. I am joined here by a special guest caster, none other than the red-shirted duelist legend himself, Hellman. Welcome back, mate.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to see what the second set of racers can do.
We'll be starting in 1 minute, and we'll be having RaizQT, my previous co-caster, facing off against TheUberElite, Goratha, and Waggle. And Hellman, I just have to say, good job in your last race, man. It was a very entertaining run. Sorry you didn't make it through into the next round, but we're reasonably happy with your run at least.
The only thing I'm not happy with is I had Google Chrome open in the background, so the reason I was lagging the entire race was I was using 100% of my CPU. So besides that, adding like 7 seconds on my load screens, I still don't think it would have affected the race. Bikegar had a great run, Doom had a great run as always, so props to both of them. I'm excited to watch them in the finals on Wednesday.
Indeed. Absolutely, me too, man, me too. And yes, good reminder that the finals will be on Wednesday this time around, giving the players as much time as possible to practice for the grand finale itself, making sure for a very competitive finale, hopefully. Most players said that they, with the semi-final and finals back-to-back, never really actually got any chance to practice the actual finals themselves. So the finals were maybe not as competitive as they could have been, and we saw most of the action in the semis. So hopefully this will be a better format for our grand finale. And speaking of working our way towards that, we are off. Looks like we're seeing 3 duelists and a shadow this time.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to watch. I know Waggle's been practicing the Shadow because he doesn't enjoy playing melee, this Leap Slam Thunder meta like everyone else does, so we'll see if he's able to post a time good enough. I know in practice he was averaging like 52 to 55, so he might need a little bit better in order to beat that based off the first set of runs.
That is a very good time though, and good to hear that the Shadow is looking so competitive. Certainly Shadow has proven to be exceptionally good in those Valkyr races, even been a priority for the majority of races at this point, but the longer races tend to favor the leap slamming action, so the Shadow does need to maybe get some of those. I hope to see some of those blink arrow strategies combined with some flame dashing, because that seems to be the way to go.
I don't know if he's practiced that, so we'll have to look and see if he decides to pull that out for this race.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you can adapt on the fly as well. I think that takes a bit of practice. getting that like weapon swap blink arrow back to your flame dash while doing everything else is that's a little challenging. But ideally he's going to be hoping for some move speed, because the old Shadow needs that to keep up with the leaf slamming action a little bit later on.
Yeah, it's be interesting if he doesn't have a Quicksilver by the time he gets to Act 2, if he opts to do the Din, because that does grant a second Quicksilver. I'm not sure if it takes about a minute side quest to do that, so we'll see if he opts to do that or not to guarantee himself extra move speed.
I think you get a rare belt as well or something, do you? Or is it just the Quicksilver now?
Oh, you can either get a rare belt or a Quicksilver.
Oh, either or. Ooh, yeah, no, okay. Yeah, it's rough. The downtime definitely makes it questionable. Do you make up the extra minute? How much extra do you make up? Can you get screwed in a layout in the den as well? That's a question. I don't know if that is possible, that you might hit a dead end in there as well, wasting even more time. That would be a little bit rough.
Yep. Alright, let's see. Looks like no one happens to have their links yet. So that's a big thing you're always going to be looking for as a duelist. Getting red, green early is really, really big.
Looking at Raiz letting out a bit of a smile earlier, because I believe he picked up some move speed boots, so those don't make a big impact in the later game for duelists, but they certainly help you act one time, and could save you a minute or two if you're lucky.
Do you know if those are off of Hillock, or if he happened to buy them off the vendor?
I'm not sure when he picked those up exactly. They might have been a vendor purchase. We haven't seen too much of that.
Especially going ground slam early on in duelists, it's you are a little strapped on wisdom scrolls, so I know a lot of people don't even check them.
Might have got a few extra drops off Hillock and had enough currency to buy for the movement speed boots. Yeah, that's the thing, like even checking for them in the first place takes a little bit of time, and so often there's just nothing in there, so it just ends up being a waste of time, but it paying out this time for Raiz, which is always nice to see.
Alright, looks like Goratha ends up hitting 2 iron rings, TheUberElite has 1 iron ring and a rustic, and Raiz only has 1 iron ring because he spent all the money buying the movement boots.
Yeah, so a little bit less damage, but I feel like the movement speed boots are worth it for this
Oh,
fast
definitely,
act 1
definitely.
run here. Yeah, for sure. Rise opting to not worry about the shrine. He's not getting distracted. He's got his eyes set on those eggs. And he picks up the Halitosis glyph. Not seeing any other items for any of the other guys yet. We got, no move speed for anyone else.
I did see a blue rustic sash, or either blue or rare rustic sash in UberElite, so that's going to save him a transmute down the road when he decides to craft his first item.
Oh, nice. Certainly, if you picked up a rare, that'd be really nice for later on. You'd have to craft that boarding axe, probably.
And Uber does already have a red links, not the preferable ones, but still pretty good to have some links early on.
Rise gets like the shortest submerged passage bridge I've probably ever seen. What? That's so close to the entrance. He has a perfect read on that too. Is the rest of the distance made up for in the upper section of it here, or is it actually just going to be a tiny zone? No, it's just a tiny zone. He gets an incredible run through the ledge.
Sub 5 minutes. That's really, really nice.
That's a super fast ledge time right there. He's got to be happy with that. On top of his move speed, not even having to run very far in the first place. It's very nice.
Like Goratha and Uber also find their ledges.
Yeah, he gets a second Quicksilver too. Rise also picks up a second Quicksilver.
Oh my god!
I feel like these are the things that the Shadow should be getting. Rise, you don't need these. You don't need the 2 Quicksilvers and move speed boots, buddy. You're not even going to use them later on. Can you at least trade them to Waggle for some currency maybe later?
And now Rise is thinking, maybe I should have just gone with Shadow, because I feel like he's more comfortable with that, and he already got all the RNG he would need.
Yeah, in this, and then he could have pulled out some of the Blinko strats later on with the Flame Dash combination, but he's going to be going for the duelist action here, but in the meantime, he's going to be speeding on to Act 2. 2 Quicksilvers and move speed boots. It's going to be really nice. He's most of the way through ledge now, so got a decent lead. UberElite not too far behind though, that said. Also got a very nice run through Submerged Passage.
Apparently, I'm getting that Waggle already has a +1 cold blue-green on his Shadow, on a Wander already. So that's going to be very nice for him. Means his Frostbomb's going to be one-shotting pretty much the entire race.
Did Rise just die? I'm seeing him backtrack. In the meantime, Waggle getting a very nice +1 there, which is going to be a big deal for him. But I think Rise, after all of this positivity...
Oh, you see all those blue Leapers he's fighting right now?
Oh, yeah. No, he takes him out for the revenge. I saw him shake his head there. He doesn't look very happy anymore. Ouch, that hurts to get such an early death here after such a strong start. The race is definitely not over for him, but that is going to haunt him for the rest of this race. Getting a little unlucky with the blue ghosts there.
There was just so many mobs there. Like 2 blue packs plus a white pack. Couldn't run by them. Just got stunned to death.
Even with those 2 Quicksilvers and move speed boots, not fast enough to get by that many blue goats. The goats are not always in ledge. They are a guest mob from the next zone over. And getting a massive pack of champions of those is, I would say, pretty unlucky. I think that's pretty unlucky.
And in that time, looks like everyone else was able to catch up with him. Goratha tied with him with the climb enter. Waggle and UberElite maybe 10 seconds behind. So that's really going to slow him down.
Yeah, his little lead was just offset there. Even if that had just been a log out, he lost his lead. But I do believe that was a death, so the 1 minute penalty is definitely going to put him about a minute behind at this point. At least 45 seconds behind some of these guys.
But on top of that, he was fortunate enough to actually click on the waypoint. Most racers skip it because they don't want to waste that half a second, 1 second slowdown it takes to clicking on it. But if he hadn't clicked on the waypoint, he'd have run the whole ledge again.
No, yeah, that would have been brutal. Rise, I know, likes to grab the safety waypoints. It takes like, oh no!
Oh my god!
Rise! Oh, he raises his hand in the air. He's like, what can you do? I'm done.
You can almost hear the I couldn't move, man.
He could not move. He got shredded by Iron Point the Forsakens. Rain of Arrows right there. That emerald green Rain of Arrows. Dude, that is super unfortunate. Don't give up, Rise. You got this, mate. Keep in the race. You're still in the race. Push it, man. Who knows what could happen this race? It's not over yet. Keep running, my dude. You can. It's definitely gonna get to him though, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, based off the times on the first race, there's definitely what was it? Dead and Demon Fiker were 3 minutes apart.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. There's a decent amount of time difference in those actual Dominus kills a lot of the time. So 2 minutes is not necessarily enough to knock him out if he ends up securing a very nice time here, but it's definitely gonna hurt.
Definitely gonna hurt. He almost has to play perfect for the rest of the race in order to make up for those
Yeah.
2 early deaths.
And I mean, he did get the second best time through all of the races yesterday in his Val kill. So if he can pull out a performance like yesterday once again from here on out, then he might have a shot. But he's going to need to.
And I'm actually looking at Goratha's items. He has 2 Quicksilvers as well. I'm not sure how early he got that second Quicksilver, but must have had it for a little while now.
I would say it's safe to say we were fairly distracted by the performance that Ryze has had. What is going on Ryze's screen right now? He's in the middle of that Ice Nova Shrine, just slamming away. Ryze, you're distracting us, man. I want to have a look at the other races for a second. Jeez. Too much silliness going on that stream right now. I'm looking away.
Looking at around, Goratha does have the second Quicksilver, double Iron Rustic, plus his colors already in his off links. On his offhand, which is going to be pretty nice the rest of the race to have. Waggle's got his +1 blue-green. As we said earlier, he's going to be one-shotting until I don't even know when. It's just such good to have it. So good to have it that early on. Uber's still down 1 Iron Ring. No links yet, so he's item-wise, he's trailing a little bit.
Looks like the wiggles for Waggles are working out very nicely because he is wiggling his way all the way into the Brutus fight first. Just a few seconds before Goratha. Doesn't get a chance to pre-trap Brutus that much. Throws down that +1 Frost Bomb. Dealing a bit of damage with the explosive traps there. Explosive trap Shadow. Always looking pretty good. So he's 2 medium life last. Looks like he is going to be just fine for this fight. And he takes out Brutus. No worries. Goratha in the meantime slashing away with a double strike. His damage is looking actually quite good there. And gets a kill like just moments after. Very fast kill. Even faster than Waggle's kill there.
Yeah, there's both some pretty respectable Brutus kill times. I think Waggle's slightly under 11 minutes, Goratha's slightly after. UberElite just getting to Warden's quarters, and looks like Ryze has a pretty long upper prison so far. Still hasn't found it.
Yeah, looks like he hit a couple dead ends in there too. Yeah, he's just heading into his quarters now. So UberElite's just a few seconds away from his Brutus fight. And Ryze practice overrated QT. Is going to be taken on his soon as well. Goratha and Waggle will be at Mervale before we know it. We'll have to keep an eye on the background, see if anything crazy happens. Goratha taking the time to XP on a massive pack of champs in the climb. Oh. Those doggos go down pretty easy.
One thing is very satisfying to watch is the Shadow just one-shot a whole pack of mobs with a Frost Bomb and just run away, like with no care in the world.
It's so juicy. It's like nothing looks more like race perfect than that. UberElite shreds his Brutus. Ryze saying, yeah, Brutus is not going to get a kill on me as well. I've had enough deaths for this race. And he makes it through, no worries at all.
See, Goratha opting to go for a Essence. I didn't see which one it was. We'll have to see what happens when he kills it. Essence agreed.
It's scary, but he gets a down hasted pack. Essence agreed. Basically just an alk. Maybe a little bit of life, but probably going to see it used on a weapon just for a pseudo alk, I'd imagine.
No, I think it might be used on a belt actually, so it can do the rare recipe.
Ah, okay, a little bit of a safer choice, you think?
And I would actually opt, if you think you're using on a belt, the earlier you do it, especially if you have a rare belt, you can get the reduced flash charge use, increased flash charge gain, flash charge duration, which is, as long as he's using both Quicksilvers, would be really, really nice for him.
That's good to know, yeah. Yeah, you get a little bit of early use before you go ahead and get rid of the belt for the actual vendor recipe itself. Good point. Something it'll be interesting to see. He's actually got 2 essences in his inventory, so he might be able to do a little bit of both. I see him taking stuff out of his weapon there. He might just be moving over the better links. Possibly... No, I don't think he'll craft his Jade Hatchet at this point.
Looks like Raiz did happen to get 2 3 links, but for some reason he has forgotten to take out his chance to bleed and add it to his ground sound. So see if he notices that, so he can get that little bit of extra damage in when he's ground slamming.
Yeah, it
away.
would be nice for clearing these packs. More chance you can just let some of those guys die to the bleed, or just even that physical damage. Just taking them out in one shot instead of 2 is always going to be very nice.
You see, all the duelists do have their Amber Elements already. They do need 1 more transmute by the time they kill Merville in order to secure themselves the Sunder when they relog. Looks like Waggle's still leading the pack. About to get to Anger with Goratha right behind him.
Yeah, really nice to see the Shadow just smashing it here. Potentially a big shortcut skip there. He hits a dead end. It would have actually been a really bad dead end. But that Flame Dash saved his life right there, getting a massive shortcut instead, turning a dead end into an actual shortcut. That was really awesome to see.
And that's one of the keys to hitting level 10 as quickly as possible. Well, as you do, Leap Slam or Flame Dash save a lot of time.
Could have saved him like 20 to 30 seconds there in backtracking potentially. That's very nice. Diamond Shrine for RaizQT. Going to get a few extra kills in Chip Graveyard before heading into the caverns. Looks like a shrine upcoming for Waggle too, but I think this is pretty close to the end of the zone. It's a brutal shrine. Ooh, going low to a few exploding squids there. Got to be a little careful.
Unfortunately, the brutal shrine is not going to help him that much on Merville. If it was like a diamond shrine,
I don't think so.
Perfect.
Yeah, that would have been a little nutty. Diamond Shrine, explosive trap. 10 traps ready for the start of the fight. He might have just one-shot first phase at that point.
Ooh, Goratha getting trolled by a really long dead into a vault side area.
No! That is brutal, and there is no Leap Slam skip for him to be had here. That's, those vault side areas, man. That is brutal. Elrian's here taunting him as well, like, this could be another dead end.
And in the meantime, Waggle is almost done with first fail of Merville. Making it easy with it so far.
I blinked. Look at that knockback in Mervale. It's a little interesting. Gonna be loading those traps up the second phase. Already getting down very far. It's like TheUberElite picks up an Ice Nova Shrine to help him out on his way. Goratha starting his Mervale. Second phase for Mervale, about to go down for Waggle, and no worries whatsoever. Smashes her. Easy. Second phase for Goratha, looking pretty good. Has to dodge a bit of an Icicle Storm there. But he gets his totem on top of her. And he's got down that first phase. Looks like TheUberElite taking a bit of extra time to XP on the way to his Mervale as well. And Raiz starting his Cavern of Anger, so he's not too far behind. Though those death penalties are certainly going to haunt him if no one else doesn't manage to secure a couple of those deaths.
Right, and that time Waggle spent a little time at the vendor, trying to make sure he did everything he needed to do in Act 1. Does pick up his added fire. Let's see, does he have an MS yet? Oh no, just cold res boots. But he does have blue for his Flame Dash Arcane Surge later on.
I love that combo of Flame Dash killing stuff along with the Frost Bomb just killing everything. Looks just looks so efficient. I love it.
And looks like Goratha is actually wearing a rare Rustic Sash already with 19% increased flash charge gain. Must have been, I'm not sure exactly when he had that, but it would have been pretty nice to fill those Quicksilvers back up. And it's going to help him get the rare Rustic recipe later on. He decides to craft a weapon. But he has already crafted a Boarding Axe, 47 IPD.
Very nice, yeah. I thought I saw him chuck something on there. Yeah, he's got that Boarding Axe ready to go, though, so he'll be able to save that for the next weapon craft. Maybe just throw some of those essences on some other gear at this point, I'd say.
Alright, looks like... Yep, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Raiz and TheUberElite take down their first phase at almost the exact same time there. So Raiz managed to catch back up too, though.
Looks like Raiz is opting, or has his 3-link double strike, whereas Uber is using a 3-link totem instead, and only a 2-link double strike. Not sure how much the difference is for DPS, but Uber does take it down first, even though Raiz started the second phase first.
I'd imagine that your own attack would put out more damage overall rather than the totem itself, but I guess the difference might be soccer colors there, possibly.
Now, I know the normal strat there is to log out after Merville to pick up your Sunder, But I guess Raiz made an early trip back to Act 1 town at some point.
Yeah, he might have had to duck back there briefly at one point. It was like, I might as well just pick it up now, save the extra trip later.
Waggle ended up transmuting his Quicksilver, getting Perpetual of Resistance. Probably the two best things you can get on the level 2 Quicksilver you pick up, or level 3 Quicksilver.
Oh yeah, that's ideal for him, especially as there's this later on are going to be a huge help moving through Act 3. So that's going to be really nice. Waggle has had a very solid commanding lead, really, for much of this race here, once Raiz lost his lead. And but this is the point where, well, we're getting close to the point soon where those duelists usually start to overtake the Shadows thanks to the Leap Slam action really kicking into gear, especially if they get some attack speed. So we'll see if he can maintain that lead moving forwards.
Right, and one important thing, he does have his green-green-red set up already on his gloves, so he's going to have his 3-link Frost Bomb to one-shot the mobs. He has his 3-link Blade Vortex to basically one-shot bosses. You know how good Blade Vortex is.
Yeah, everything's just going right for him there. If he can get that added fire equipped into that 3-link, he has the 2 3-links. He has the incredible single target and the incredible clear speed. It might not even matter if his move speed isn't quite as good as the other guys. That is going to be very, very nice.
The thing is, he did not opt to go to Din. I don't know if it's a better strat or not, but just decided against it. Didn't think that second Quicksilver was worth picking up.
Looks like he opts to craft his Rustic Sash there, hoping to get some flask buffs. I think he got something like life recovery rate, which is helpful, but not exactly what he was looking for. Just shreds Fideltus with that Blade Vortex, as is to be expected. And if he gets that added fire, we might even see like a one-phase Weaver coming up as well.
Yeah, he must not have a transmute because he's not even looking for an Amber Amulet off the vendor.
Yeah, I'd say he needs to grab a few items and hit up that vendor then, if that's the case. If he wants to keep that advantage, because that's like his biggest advantage at that point, is just like how efficient his actual skills are.
See, Goratha looks like he's a little lost in Sense 2.
Yeah, look, that looks a little bit lost there. Oh yeah, no, that's whoops. Wow, that is I mean, it looked like he was heading up to the right, and he's like, this must be a weird side area or something. It must be around that corner and up and to the left from there. It has to be, right? That's crazy.
Oh, yeah,
that is actually
definitely up there. He just got almost all the way there, and it's like, no, I don't think it is this doorway win. That's gonna cost him about 40 seconds,
that was a really weird looking layout. But it's always up and to the right though. Like it can't be any other orientation. So, but missing that exit, just not seeing it. I guess in the moment there, looking like that was a solid wall to him on that minimap.
And in that time, Raiz getting an Artisan's box with 5 additional items that should give him plenty of whetstones. Only 2, but plus enough armor scraps to trade him in. So he should be good on crafting for the rest of the race. He does take the safe strat and TPs before opening it, just in case he dies or gets frozen or anything in that sort.
Yeah, I like that. You can, even when frozen, if you have a portal opened on top of your character, you can still click through it. Your character can still portal out while frozen, which is good to know. If you don't want to log out, but have a bit of a safety net on those lockboxes. Right, shredding his Fideltus as well.
Oh yeah, killed it really fast. It looks like Uber is still having link problems. His Thunder only being 2 linked with Onslaught only means his damage is a little hindered compared to everybody else.
Looks like he might have just sorted it out. He's got Maim and Chance to Bleed. It was linked to his Ancestral Protector. I think it's linked to his Thunder now, so I think he has swapped that in.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't have the he does not have the red green yet, so his normal running around isn't there.
Yeah, and that is true. Waggle got a Diamond Shrine for Weaver.
Even with the Diamond Shrine, yeah, not able to one-phase it.
I guess the biggest thing is that added fire, and he does not have it yet. So even with the Diamond Shrine, that is not enough. Still though, it's sure that sped the fight up for him just a little bit. Not too bad. Waggle's looking in fine form here. If he does make it through to the grand finale with this run, I'll be interested to see whether he's also going to be playing a Shadow in that as well, which is going to be that Katava kill for the grand finale.
I'm fairly certain that Arc Trap Arc Trapper Shadow is the meta then for that race if you don't play Duelist. I'm not how certain how early you switch over to that, but I know
I've
they've
heard
been
some mixed
talking about
opinions
practicing
from the
it.
races. Yeah, I was watching some of the other races practice, and they're like, "This is awful," and then other races like, "This is godly." So it seems very divisive in terms of how much people like that setup. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we end up seeing played in the actual grand finale.
You know what
But
I've heard
that
is you just
go ahead.
you consistently XP the entire way with Arc Traps. 'Cause you just one shot the whole way, and that allows you to get the extra levels. But if you rush it too early, then the arcs you don't get the levels, and the damage is just not there.
Yeah,
We'll
Arc
have to
is
see how it is on Wednesday.
not quite there. Yeah, that's it. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves now. We'll leave that for the grand finale itself. Because right now we got Goratha hitting up Weaver. We got Raiz heading into his Weaver fight very soon. Goratha's Weaver going down. No worries. Weaver not usually presenting a threat unless she's accompanied by a nasty pack of spiders that help her out in that first phase. No one having too many problems. Waggle shredding Kraden right now. Finishing him off with a frost bomb. Very nice.
Well, he's picking up
Raiz
a
got
rare
little
cleaver.
low.
The vendor for alt, which is probably going to be frustrating. Although the duelist, like, I want that rare cleaver.
Yeah, it's probably a 80 IPD with attack speed, something like what we saw in the last race.
Oh, so it's a fight card cleaver.
Yeah, exactly. Something obscene. But just vended, no use to the shadow right there.
And notice Waggle is actually opting to go for the 2 life notes in Shadow, probably to get the strength in order to start using his added fire. I think he's had enough of not using it.
Yeah, not being able to find that. It's possible that he wasn't able to even find that Ember Amulet. But it does look like he didn't have much currency in his inventory either. Gets himself a cold resistance ring there.
And looks like Raiz has finally decided to buy some new potions for himself. Not that he can use them yet, but soon.
Oh no, not Raiz doing this again. The no flask for all of eternity. It's not good for my heart. Yeah, I see he's only on a medium flask right now. That's he's got a couple to upgrade into, but he has to get to that point right now. The old medium life flask is has a little bit of a tough time cutting it at this point.
And in that time, it looks like everyone's slowly started to creep up on Waggle as far as speed goes. Goratha has already finished his Kraten fight. Uber and Raiz are right there, about to head into it. Waggle's only about to start the Oak, so everyone else is about minute and a half behind him.
Yeah, it's still quite close, but Waggle's still impressively managing to maintain that lead at this point.
Oh, I was actually mistaken. He didn't help Alir. He had decided to help Oak instead for the life regen and the fizz damage, which will help his Blade Vortex. He had already killed Alir. He didn't opt to get the resistance.
Oh, wow, okay. Puts him a little bit further ahead in terms of time. The Oak kill can take quite a while. But that said, that's a risky choice, though. The resistances from Alir have proved to be a rather big deal in this race. And certainly seen people suffer the consequences of not having much in the way of resist.
Yeah, Alir is just so nice because you get the 15 all-res plus the mana regen, which helps a lot on Leap Slam, or whatever other build you choose to do.
Yeah, pretty much anything in this game. Everything seems to use some mana. Looks like Waggle got some other +1/+1 there. He tucked it away for something, for safekeeping, perhaps. Family heirloom, maybe? He'll pass it down through the ages. I'm not sure if we'll see that get used. I don't know what +1 it was exactly. Not like +1 can help out with the Blade Vortex at all, since it is a physical spell.
Goratha looks like having no trouble with Oak, takes him down pretty easily. Already level 16, so he has his Cleaver and Herald of Ash attached, so he does have a little more extra damage for that fight. While looks like Uber and Raiz are still on that boarding axe, have no Herald of Ash, so when he goes immune to damage, they can actually not do anything.
Yeah, that's a little rough. Just straight up dealing no damage to the boss there. And as we see, Oak is chaining Immortal Calls for Raiz right now. He's either got those endurance charges or those Immortal Calls, and you can see why players often opt to skip the Oak fight by helping him instead, because look at how long this can take. It just feels so painful in a race situation to have to deal with that.
Ooh, and Uber taking him into the corner, just so he's not going to have to deal with most of those ads. Be straight one-on-one fight, almost. But
You know, I've
looks like
seen Uber do that before. He likes these cute little strategies like that, and I appreciate it. I appreciate those little micro elements like that.
one thing to note is Uber is only level 14 right now. Even after the Oak fight, he's not going to be 15, whereas everyone else is about 15 or 16 by the time they kill Oak. So
Yeah,
he's
it looks
going
like
to
we
need
are.
to massively XP right here in order to catch up, or he's just not be able to get XP for the rest of the race.
Yeah, somehow falling behind in those levels, not quite being on top of killing as much as he's need to be. We're seeing level 15 for Raiz, just 16 in a second, 16 for Goratha and Waggle, with Waggle almost hitting 17, so getting that huge Shadow XP. Shadow's often leading the in terms of XP because that Frostbomb just being so efficient for killing packs.
Yeah, actually just hitting 18 there, so he's golden on XP for now. I'll continue.
He's actually... Oh wow, my updater is a little behind then if you just hit 18, that's crazy.
I think Uber's main problem is he doesn't have the 3-link, so he's used to 2-shotting packs or 3-shotting packs. So he's 3-shotting them or 3-hitting them, running away, and they'll be at a sliver of HP because he doesn't have the chance to bleed or the melee fizz in there to do that little bit of extra damage he needs.
Oh, that's certainly rough when you've practiced so much and usually you've always got that setup rolling, but you're just leaving those packs alive a little bit each time. Yeah, that's certainly rough.
But he does finally get his 3-link on a pair of gloves, so we'll see if he's able to make up that time or make up that XP he needs.
Yeah, like you said, if you fall behind too much on XP here in Act 2, it just makes it really difficult to hit that level 21-ish goal that you probably set for yourself for actually taking down Dominus. And that can lead to all sorts of problems. Not the least of all which is not being able to equip the ideal weapon for the fight.
Right, and at that point you have to go back and farm a zone in order to make sure you have the XP, because the penalties just ramp up so quickly.
What level is the Dominus zone even? Like, Scepter have gotten that? Because the guys get through pretty underleveled in that zone, I think.
Right, I'm assuming it's at least 28. I would say almost up to the 30s. Maybe someone in chat might know better, but I would trust your knowledge, Ziggy. You're pretty knowledgeable when it comes to this game.
That was an educated guess at best. So
we're seeing 32.
That's an idea of how underleveled these guys run these boss kill races, because that is huge, and that also, like you said, it ramps up so fast in Act 3. And these guys are doing Dominus around 21, 22, and it's a 32 zone, so you were just literally not getting any XP at that point from those monsters. There's no catching up. You just have to go for it, and you want to be ready by that point. So, oof.
Right. And
Raiz is still in a medium flask. Raiz, you're killing me. Come on, man. Fix the flask. The hell, dude. Can't handle it.
Hitting level 17 there. One more level, and I think he can finally upgrade his flask.
It's still another level to go. Oh no. Raiz, I feel like Raiz always does this to me. He had that one race where he was on small life flask for all of Act 2, and I just couldn't handle it, man. I couldn't handle it.
One thing interesting to note is Raiz using it at level 17 using an uncrafted boarding axe. We know he has the whetstones, but interesting to know that hasn't crafted a weapon yet at all. Either hasn't found a cleaver or just decided against it.
Yeah, I mean, his damage is looking okay, I guess, but that seems really worth going to craft. He finds the third Quicksilver flask. At this point, arguably, even having the 2 Quicksilvers equipped is maybe a waste. He probably wants to get like a 3rd mana or maybe another life flask, perhaps.
Oh, 100%.
So getting the 3rd one drop is kind of just like an insult. It's like, thanks, game. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Oh, you seem to have him struggling with all those fire mobs. His medium flask not really healing him.
No, he's not going to be able to out heal. Like, I think there's some punctures or bleeds coming up soon as well that he can get, and he levels up just in time to get a heal there. It looks like that's an exile. Oh, he's so low. I think he dies to a degen. Maybe a little bit of fire there. Unfortunately, Raiz hitting another death in this race. That is just absolutely brutal.
So what happened there is the exile put Vuln on him, and so every mob that hits him with physical damage has a chance to bleed him. He gets bled. He was barely outraging it, and as he leaps away, it considered him moving and ended up taking the rest of his HP.
Damn, that is brutal. That's another little bit of unlucky one to run into a vulnerability exile in here. Is a little unlucky, but he's also woefully underprepared with the flask situation. Not doing him any favors there. Oh, that is just brutal. I was just talking about those bleeds too. I wasn't expecting it from a vulnerability curse though.
And he did see the exile and off to fight. He could have left away. He knew the risk and reward.
You could definitely outrun any exile on Leap Slam for sure.
And at that time, Waggle has already made it to City of Sarn, took his ball down pretty easily, and Goratha is about to start the fight.
I didn't even see Waggle's ball kill. Rise being too distracting over there. Wow. Well, we can at least catch Goratha's Val kill. Usually the Val fight is a little bit uneventful, so I presume Waggle smashed that vacuum cleaner into pieces.
And he does finally have the added fire on his Blade Vortex. Got the strength for that. Nice. So.
Yeah, he probably got that going from those
Still
nodes
no move speed,
for the Val fight too. So it was probably pretty fast affair. Goratha's is too. Managed to get him just before he dips away for ads too. He'll be heading straight into Act 3 in no time at all. So it looks like the fight for first and second is currently between Waggle and Goratha. We'll see if there's a bit of a battle for third here, whether Raiz or Uber can present much of a challenge for second place, because both first and second, again, are moving on to the finals from this pod here.
Yeah, Uber's, with the 3-minute penalty Raiz already has, it would have to be something miraculous at this point for him to come back, but you never know. Goratha could easily die a couple times and let Raiz back into the race.
Waggle and Goratha are pretty close to each other right now, it looks like. Waggle just starting... well, there's a little bit of time spent in town here in Act 3. It takes a little bit of time to run through there, but Waggle just halfway through his... I always get the names of these. The slums? I believe that's the one.
The slums.
Yeah, the slums. Get halfway through his slums there, Goratha. Just finishing his City of Sarn. So there's probably about a minute difference between them right now.
Which is time Goratha can definitely make up with Blood Rage plus Leap Slam.
Oh yeah. Once you get those frenzy charges up and rolling as well, that Leap Slam just starts to look ludicrously fast. I'll take a quick look at their gear. Looks like Goratha has a vendor-crafted cleaver, which is just fine as far as Thunder is concerned, but no bonuses in terms of attack speed or anything. Nothing else really to speak of. He's got kind of a nice rustic sash right there with some.
Oh, his rustic sash is beautiful.
Yeah, 23
life.
life. Yeah, double resistances, cold and lightning, which is going to be very handy for moving through Scepter of God, especially, and that piety fight.
And he basically has all his flasks he's going to need for the rest of the race. The only thing Goratha needs is a crafted Broadex, and he has the essence in his inventory ready and a rare rustic sash on. So either way, he can. Ooh, and you see Raiz about to start his ball fight, typing not tilted, by the way, still on white boarding axe with 5 whetstones.
We were talking about that earlier about why he hadn't crafted his boarding axe yet. Possibly when he says not tilted, maybe implying it might have been slightly tilted there and forgot about crafting his axe, which is a little bit understandable with how eventful his race has been. Easy to forget something like that, I guess.
And Uber typing to us as well. So much currency, nothing to do with it.
The Val fight, perfect time to have a little bit of a chat. I guess Uber has done everything he can do right now in terms of setting up his character and looking over his character. He's got, yeah, I guess there's not too much else he can do right now. Until he gets some levels, that's the problem for him, being stuck at on 18 right now. Yeah, he needs an actual axe to craft at this point. He's got that 21 IPD cleaver right now, Uber, which is, you can certainly vendor craft better than that, but maybe he's trying to just get to the next axe, but yeah, I don't know. With his level, that's going to be difficult.
He does get 2 resist rings with flat fizz on him, which is going to be pretty nice going forward.
Oh, very nice. Should be pretty helpful. Bonus damage and the crucial resist.
Looking around at the gear, Waggle happens to have a 2-stone ring with 16 fire res, 4 all res, on a fire lightning resist base, plus another topaz ring in his offhand. His resists are really, really good. just slightly less on the cold. He's going to need that for the upper Scepter of God, lower Scepter of God, so he didn't get frozen.
Yeah, looks like the only thing that he's kind of maybe a little lacking is just that coral amulet. Not really doing too much for him at this point, I guess.
Goratha TPing out in the middle of sewers, wondering what he's doing.
Going to craft his axe. I guess he wanted to do that as soon as he leveled there.
Did he just augment attack speed on it?
It looked like that was really weird looking. It looked like it had attack speed on it.
We'll have to see when he puts it on, but that could that might be enough to help him pass Waggle. We'll have to see what happens.
He didn't just no, he definitely did the vendor recipe, yes.
Right.
That was really weird looking. He's discovered a new vendor recipe that gives physical and attack speed at the exact same time without a need for an augment.
Oh, he augmented it immediately. That's what I saw him do.
Okay, it was just really fast. I blinked and missed the augment itself. It was confusing me quite a great deal.
I did see attack speed on it as he put it on. We'll have to see them out.
Ooh, Raiz fighting an essence there and going low to another bleed. A reminder of last time. One of that little bullet hell bleed projectiles taking pretty low there.
Luckily, he chose to upgrade his fast finally and was able to outlive it.
Man, I have to give him major props with all the deaths he's had and all of the tilt that he's probably experiencing as a result. He's still managed to keep his progression up, and if it wasn't for the death penalties, he would be pretty close to the other guys.
Yeah, but looking at Goratha, he did manage to get 5% attack speed. Not the best, but every little bit of attack speed helps when you're leaping around.
Oh yeah, certainly so. And when he's facing off against a shadow, getting that attack speed as fast as possible that's his major advantage. That's what he needs to be able to beat Waggle right now. And speaking of, they're both in the exact same spot right now, both just entering Battlefront. So Goratha has officially caught up at this point.
Right, and so at this point, it's going to come down to Goratha will probably get to the bosses quicker, but it's how fast Waggle's going to kill them while Goratha wet noodles them down.
Yeah, that's it, because they're both 21 right now. They're not really going to be doing any more killing other than just to have Onslaught. Waggle gets to keep his Onslaught up a little more freely, but it's certainly not as fast as that leaf slime for Goratha. So Goratha's going to get to the boss. We might even see him get there 30 seconds ahead of him. But if Waggle can just kill those bosses that much faster, then that makes for a close race. I like it.
So I haven't seen any of the racers actually look at their friends list or, have any insight how the other racers are doing. Because you would think if Goratha knew he had a little bit of a cushion, he might play a little safer, or is he still going to be pushing it to guarantee he beats the other two racers? Because as long as you're tied with one racer, you're good. But it's beating that third racer, which is really important to make it to the final round.
Yeah, that's a good point. Him coming in first is not necessarily so important, but that said, you gotta go for first, right? Even though the safer play probably would be to play safe and to make sure that TheUberElite doesn't creep up on you. But yeah, that also, like you said, that requires a little bit of extra knowledge about what's going on with the other races. It can happen, certainly. Chad is often willing to communicate where everyone's at, and we do often see, Dead and Doom in particular is quite fond of opening up that friends list, just checking where some people are that he might be a little bit worried about.
You'll see him open it up and type in their names to search for them while leaping around or while running around.
I do appreciate that level of multitasking. I will say that. Still has time to manage his gear whilst also doing that and setting world records.
I did see Uber craft his broad axe, so one more level, I think, and he'll be able to use it. Whereas Raiz,
nice.
Not sure what he's done, but he's still using that whiteboarding axe.
He's just committing to it at this point. No, there we go. He gets the weapon swap. Finally gets that weapon swap. Looks like a rare too. Looks like it's just got some added elemental damage though, so maybe not ideal. Don't think I saw any attack speed on there. Dead and Doom does say in chat, first or nothing, to be honest. I think I agree with that. You gotta go for the glory, even if it means risking your spot potentially. Better to go down in flames while shooting for first, I think.
Alright, so yeah, looking at Raiz's weapon, it is 13 to 24 fire, 1 to 27 lightning. Interesting. He looks like he has the currency to craft one. I'm surprised he didn't opt to do that.
He did mention earlier that he has 5 blacksmith whetstones, an excessive amount of whetstones for a jeweler's to have.
He has nothing else to use them on. I honestly don't see why he's not Just going ahead and crafting his weapon. Why is opting to use the elemental damage one?
I mean, at this point, he could probably just take his axe up to 20 quality right now. I mean, that's 20 IPD right there.
Alright, and looks like Goratha does have a lead over Waggle now. He's already in Barracks, whereas Waggle is still in Solaris. We'll be the first one to get to Piety.
Oh yeah, we're definitely seeing the speed of that leap slam right now just take over the show for Goratha. Waggle running as fast as his little stubby shadow legs can take him, but look, Shadow doesn't really have that leg reach that the Duelist has with that graceful, majestic swan leap. Even like you even look at the Duelist when they leap, like spreads those hands out in the air, provide a little bit of extra buoyancy in the air. That's exactly how it works, and just soars.
If I wasn't watching the race, the way you describe it just paints a beautiful picture in my head, Ziggy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Swan's leap. Shut up, chat. Swans definitely leap. Buoyancy in the air and Swan's leap. Helman's on my side. Helman's complimenting me.
Right, Waggle finally making it to the end of Solaris 2, about to start the run to Piety, whereas Goratha's already in Solaris 2, or Lunaris 2. See if he, ooh, going really low right there.
That was very close. Goratha, not, like we said, he's taking that fast leap slamming action now, and he's going for first. He's prepared to go down in flames, and he almost did. A 1 minute penalty would kill him right now. He would if he died right now, he'd be dead. Just pointing that out. Vegan, what a jerk.
The one thing to know about racing is once someone has their links and their gear set up, they don't stop for anything. So Goratha's wearing a scale vest, an iron hat, fish scale gauntlets, and chain boots, all before level 6 items, whereas he's in a level 28 zone. So all the physical damage hits are going to be hitting at full damage, and his resists aren't that great, so they're going to be extra on top of that. It's not worth the time to stop to pick up those things, so everything is to be chunking him really hard.
And you can't even equip anything you pick up at this point anyway. Like, they'll be too high level. The players are just so underleveled at this point, just pushing to the bosses as quickly as they can. Even if something does drop, even if unique drops, chances are you probably can't equip it. Certainly not any rares.
Yeah, you'd have to get lucky and have something underleveled drop out of the zone, which is typically not very likely. Goratha about to start the Piety fight. We'll see if he's managed to do it pretty easily.
This is where things can go awry between the battle for first here between Goratha and Waggle, and even potentially the battle for second if things go too wrong. TheUberElite just nipping at their heels, just reminding them that you guys can't make too many mistakes. Goratha getting some nice damage. Fire Form comes out with a vengeance, though. Piety slapping away.
Oh.
And Goratha goes down. Oh, no.
He gets that last hit in right as she's about to chain the form.
Didn't think that would connect. I thought he was about to do it, and that was her last hit. And she's going for another one. She's out for blood. She gets him again. What a game changer. Oh, my God. Oh no, Goratha. That is definitely what Waggle needs to take first here, as long as he doesn't have any upsets.
Oh, he's almost
S2 almost sniping him with the teleport shot.
I didn't see TP there. That was instant out and in.
Oh wow. TP just saving him there. That was a nice fast TP right there too. He's not letting that happen again. Goratha is in danger of losing second here, so he's got to be on his toes from here on out. That is a big upset for him. 2 deaths on Piety there. Piety, an absolute beast in this race.
And you can see all the European racers a little triggered about how fast Goratha's able to get out and back into the game with his quarter-second load screens.
Yeah, I definitely have that like second or two before the load screen even starts, where you can still move around, but it's like waiting for the load screen, loading the load screen. You're like, in that time, you just gotta like run in a different direction and hope you can survive. Those nice portals certainly look nice. I won't lie.
All right, so with that 2-minute penalty, we'll see if Waggle is able to overcome and catch up to him.
Yeah, that's true. Like Waggle hasn't started his party fight. He's not too far behind now.
But
We'll see. Like if
expect him
Goratha
to
can still
shred
pull
it.
out a first with that, then that's insane.
What was Dead and Doom's final time?
I honestly do not remember.
I know it was sub 50, so we'll see. If Goratha hadn't got the deaths, we'll see if he's able to pull that out. I think he's looking more at like a 50 to 51 minute with the double death penalty, but he can still die multiple times to Dominus. That fight is not easy as well when you're under leveled and under geared.
Yeah. Yeah, level 49. Sorry, 49 minutes apparently for Dead and Doom. So it looks like we'll be seeing at least several minutes beyond that, considering it's 49 minutes now for Goratha, and he does have 2 minutes of death penalties.
And in this time, Raiz is actually overtaking Waggle, halfway done with his piety fight, almost finishing it. Waggle's barely about to start it.
Wow, Rise with the just the solid progression despite the tilt, the lack of weapon crafting, and the early deaths as well, which have been brutal for him.
He is the second one to take down Piety, and Waggle, God, just obliterates her before she can teleport away.
I think Goratha just died again. I think Goratha just died.
And he has no waypoints. He has to go all the way back.
He died, yep. He's gone, man.
With that third death, Raiz, they both have a 3-minute penalty. Raiz is literally neck and neck with Goratha.
And Waggle's right there too. That. Wow.
So Waggle's solidly in first place right now without having a penalty at all. Uber, as long as he can kill Piety and get to barracks in less than 3 minutes, is on pace with Rise and Goratha, barring no deaths. This is literally anyone's game right now.
Oh my god, how has this changed so much for this to be so close right now? That is insane.
And
you're right,
lucky for Rise, all his deaths were early, so he's not tilted anymore. Goratha, you know he's just beating himself up right now.
Oh yeah, no, he's got to be feeling real bad about that right now. That was real rough. Look at that big pack of champion lightning throwers right there that took him out. Damn, very scary stuff.
We'll have to see what he went
That wasn't even the one that took him out. No, he still explored this. It was a bit further up. Oh man, he lost so much ground. Damn.
Looks like he was already an upper scepter. Let's see if he opts to get the waypoint this time. Nope.
No safety net this time. He's like, I'm not. If I die again, I'm done. So, not even though. Who knows what happens from here on out? And that's crazy to think that even though UberElite hasn't done Piety yet, he has no deaths. UberElite's slow and steady. This could be a hare and tortoise situation here with UberElite taking second potentially.
Goratha going really low again. Oh, he does make it out. So I think what actually happened to Goratha is he died, and instead of resurrecting at checkpoint, clicked resurrect at town, which made him have to run the whole thing. If you'd have stopped him for half a second, he could have resurrected.
Did we just see Waggle died? Waggle just died. Waggle just died as well.
Luckily, he still does have a 2 death buffer, so
yeah, he's fairly safe right now, and he
might have got bear trapped by the Wander Exile. Might have taken him down.
Looks like he's back to exploring new ground here, so he didn't lose too much ground. He did not resurrect in town, thankfully for him. It looks like we just saw Rise die. No, Rise, you're so close, man. Oh my god, deaths left, right, and center. It's so difficult to even spot them. It's all happening so quickly.
If you look at Rise, he has 1 Topaz ring. It's really important to have a Sapphire ring or some cold resist for this zone, because you get just chain frozen and stunned by all the freeze pulsing mobs, and he does not have that equipped, so that's why he's getting stunned. Not sure what everyone else's excuses are. Goratha is the first one up.
Really brutal.
Gonna be starting the Dominus fight first.
Oh, unless Goratha sees another death in here, then Rise is not going to be able to catch up now with that extra 1 minute penalty. 4 deaths to 3. We're having to keep scoring.
But remember, Uber is in Imperial Gardens now. He has a 3-minute buffer zone, so even if Goratha gets the kill, Uber can come back and win it.
Ooh, can he get there and get that kill in 3 minutes though? Provided Goratha no extra deaths, that's the thing. I mean, Uber is looking pretty sturdy right now. It looks like his gear is set up too. Like he's taking that extra preparation time, and it might pay off here. Who would have thought this race would come down to being so close after the earlier upsets, especially with Rise almost having a shot for second here. He's about to start his fight as well. We'll go Goratha and Rise fighting Dominus ads at the same time right now. We've got Waggle trying to make his way back.
Managed to survive the exile that shoots things out.
Oh no.
Rise going down to less than 30 health. Minutes come back up.
I'm just holding my breath right now. It's too much to watch. Otherwise, I'm watching both the HP bars, trying to see where they're both at.
And then this time, I think Waggle's on his final level of Upper Scepter, going to be starting the fight pretty soon.
And what is Waggle's death counter at this time? I'm having trouble keeping track of everyone's deaths right now.
I believe he's only at 1, so he has a 2-minute buffer on Goratha and a 3-minute buffer on Raiz.
Well, this is going to take some math to work out who wins this race at this point. apparently one death, chat says. Yeah, but
Goratha making pretty easy work of first phase Dominus so far.
Well, he's not over yet. He goes for another slam. And looks like he will be about to take him down here. Goes for one more lightning channel. Oh, Goratha trying to get the final hits in. Raiz having to do a little bit more dodging there. Raiz is just smiling at this point. I feel like Raiz doesn't feel like he's still in this.
And in this time, Waggle has actually killed Dominus at the exact same time as Raiz. That Blade Vortex making so much work. He might actually beat Goratha's kill time just because of the damage of Blade Vortex.
Wow, even with the death penalty, like not even counting the death penalties, he might just outright beat him here in terms of speed to kill the boss here. He's second phase Dominus. It's 3 bunny rabbits popping out right at the same time here. Goratha is going to have to portal back. He only has 1 portal scroll, and Goratha dies at the portal. He dies at the portal. Raiz is back in it. Waggle gets his kill, secures first. Raiz dies as well. I'm done. Raiz
dies as well. Uber's about to start the fight. Uber can still win. If Uber can win deathless at a reasonable pace, Uber can still win.
Yeah, Uber just needs to take his time and do this deathless right now. What a race, man. Oh my god. Goratha
at 37 HP,
he lived,
secures the win over RaizQT.
Oh my god.
At 37 HP.
Oh my god. Alright. Oh god. Can you guys say that you were here to see this live? Raiz dies again. He's laughing at this point. You think he knows that he's out at this point. Oh my god.
All up to Uber. I think Goratha's up to 4 deaths now. Can we get a confirmation on that?
But I think so it might be 59-30 for Goratha roughly. So we'll see what UberElite can do. Remember, UberElite has not died right now. So he's
already on first phase Dominus. He's able to face tank the beam without a problem.
Look at this guy.
He has this in the bag. Unless
slow and freaking
something
steady,
happens.
just taking it out. Oh my god, you gotta admire that patience that UberElite has displayed in this race. Look at him, just focused, patient, chillaxed, able to face tank Dominus, taking his time. He's already in the spot prepared. Goes to pick up some extra currency. Why not?
And he's thinking at this point. He's like, all right, with this time. Look at his best melee run ever, 57-25. It's not as he knows he's not that confident on melee, but he's like, I'm gonna perform. I'm gonna do what I can do. I'm gonna do my best effort, and we'll see what happens. And he's about to tie his best ever, and barring any deaths, he's gonna take the win.
And it's gonna work for him. I think he's gonna be fine here, man. He's gonna hit that portal nice and early because that's UberElite, I reckon. Patient. Persistent. He's going to take his time here. He's like, yeah, I got one more fast charge here. I killed an extra ad. He's positioning himself so that he can sunder and hit those extra ads when he needs to. Portal's out nice and early. No risks need to be taken. He can just take his time right now and secure that second place. And he's going to do it, man. He's going to do it. I'm pretty sure it's 59-27 is the time for him to beat for second place. And that's just a solid 57-26 even, probably. Yeah, 57-27.
And he takes it down without a problem.
Wow. Well done.
Uber with the slow and steady, just wins confidence. Race, I know I'm not going to die. Old school racers know this. You don't die in races. That's the important thing. Uber doesn't die. No penalty. Ends up getting second place.
Wow. What a race. What a race. Who would have thought that would have been so close, like a 4-way race there at the end due to just absolute, utter insanity. There's so many deaths back and forth. Wow.
I believe Goratha had 2 deaths going into the Dominus fight. So if he just happened to do a deathless Dominus fight, he would have eked out the win over UberElite, even with the 2-minute penalty. But unfortunate for him, Piety hit him in the face too many times, and then Dominus was just too brutal for him, and Uber is your second champion.
We are getting the final confirmation on the times there. It looks like 59.27 for Goratha, 56.04 for Waggle, RaizQT, and then the 57.27 for UberElite. Yep. Very, very nicely done. Congrats to the winners, Waggle and UberElite.
Yeah, congrats to. I'm just so impressed by how quickly Blade Vortex can kill bosses. You saw Goratha start the race, start the Dominus fight almost 2 minutes before Waggle. Waggle comes in and says, "You're not first. I'm first." Now I'm excited to see what they're gonna pull out for the Katava kill race.
Yeah, that is it. Looks like we have some time for interviews, apparently, which it looks like Havoc might be able to help us set up. We'll see if anyone is willing to get in and have a little bit of a post-game chat about the last of the semifinals there, which was incredible.
All right, so while waiting for the interviews, what is your early game prediction? Waggle and Uber are both not known for playing melee champions, so you got to assume neither of them are going to play melee for the Katava race. Then Noom's known for his leap slam skills, known for him playing duelist. So he's probably going to play that, but you don't know. And then Fikar is known for duelist as well. So what do you think they're going to bring to the table on Wednesday?
I think we're going to see probably 3 duelists and a shadow. I would not be surprised to see 3 duelists and a shadow. I'll be very interested to see Waggle's shadow. I know I've just heard a bit too much uncertainty surrounding the shadow arc trap. Some players love it, other players a little bit less confidence now. It's possible we might see 2 shadows, 2 duelists. I'm not.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. And in the meantime, it looks like Uber is going to be the first interview we're gonna have.
Oh, very nice. Hey. Welcome, Uber. Mate, congrats. That was fantastic to watch, mate. Tell us about your race, just first thoughts.
Well, I'm gonna start off. My RNG was terrible. Like, absolutely terrible. I could not get red, green at all.
Yeah, we watched that happen. That was pretty rough.
Until level 15, I was running on 2 links, and I had a 3-link totem. So that was pretty bad, and then I didn't have a boarding axe drop at all. I had to buy one, so that also was pretty bad. When I was completely scrapped on currency in Act 1. I barely had enough to buy a Sunder, and then boarding axe cost another transmute, so yeah, my whole start of like Act 1, Act 2 was bad. I actually remember I had to kill the lightning squid in the caverns because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough blues to sell in order to get my transmute, and I literally got exact amount, so thank God I did that.
It was looking very grim at that point. We noticed just how under-leveled you were compared to the other players, and that sort of thing could just really snowball forwards, but you managed to correct it, man, and then just play like a really... We were saying it was like just the slow and steady wins the race strategy from you right there, because that's what it looked like. You just had such a smooth run and 0 deaths, and that ended up being the winning point for you. How did you kind of...
It definitely seemed once you managed to get all your gear and your items set up, you were just chugging along. If you look at your best splits, you were just sitting there. You saved a full minute on one of your splits there, and then you were just consistently chugging along. And did you know towards the end of the race that they had deaths, or were you just playing the best race you could do and see what happens?
I like barely had my chat open. Like, there was like the side. I saw something about deaths, and I saw something about Goratha having 3 deaths, and I'm like, okay. So basically, all I need to do is not die. I need to completely focus on just not dying and hope that, like, because I only knew Goratha had some deaths, and so I had to hope that somebody else had deaths, and I knew that was like my only chance of advancing at this point because I had such a terrible, like, I wasn't on a very good pace, but I was deathless at that point.
And so you just put your head down and you're like, you know what? I'm going to do what I can do. And if it ends up being successful, it does. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastically done, man. You did exactly what you needed to do to get into second place in that one. So well done, man.
Do you have any ideas about Wednesday, or do you have a lot of practicing to do and testing things out before you can comment on that?
I'm very curious about Shadow in that race because arc traps have I mean, D&D beat his... I mean, this is full progression, so doing like a Zaro and all the skill points and all that, but D&D beat his Sunder time going into Act 5 Katava, doing arc traps. So
Wow.
I'm kind of curious about that. It's pretty surprising, but I don't know, we'll have to see.
I know you do a lot of practice, so I'm excited to watch that in the next couple of days, see what you determine and see how you improve until the Wednesday's race. So excited to see and watch you in the future, for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, best of luck, mate.
Yeah, thanks.
It looks like we might be able to get Waggle in here now. In fact, here is the man himself, the winner of this second race here, Waggle. How you going, mate? G'day. What's your first thoughts on your race?
Well, going into the race, I was really gambling that I would find move speed or maybe a Quicksilver Flask, and I didn't find either of those. So I'm pretty happy that I'm somehow through anyway.
How did your time how's your time end up being compared with no MS and no Quicksilver? Do you think you performed pretty average for your time? Do you think you rose up to the occasion, did a little better?
Discounting the one death in Scepter because I forgot to put the cold res rings on. I think I played a little slow. I probably could have saved a couple minutes and done like a 53-ish run, but not too far off from what I would have expected for nothing to give me any extra speed.
Well, we did notice you got that really, really early blue-green +1 wand. How excited were you when you saw that? Or were able to... did you craft that or find it?
Well, I bought it. I didn't realize it was +1 until I thought it was a magic wand with blue-green, and I had to vendor a bunch of extra stuff to get the wisdoms for it. And then after I put it on, I realized it was a +1, and I was like, all right.
Wow.
And that probably saved another half minute or so in Act 1 and not having to craft it.
That's very nice. I accidentally purchased it. Yeah, I was very happy to see you rocking the shadow in this race. It seems like the speed of Leap Slam really takes over, especially like in that last little stretch of the race. As we certainly saw Goratha just like powering ahead, zones and zones ahead. But how do you kind of think it pans out overall? Like, how competitive is that? Does it
I
just
would
come down
have
to
to
that
do
boss
some
win?
more runs. I think in a race situation like this, where you only get one shot, the Leap Slam, the Sunder is definitely the best because it's just so consistent.
Yeah, and you
I
saw
haven't
that
found-
Newman, Fikar, the times they were able to pull out in the first race.
Yeah, they're really fast times, but I haven't found in any of my practice runs yet any extra Quicksilvers, which I think that would make a huge time. So if you did manage to find that, I think it could be just as competitive. It's just so much more RNG dependent.
I know you can get a Quicksilver from the Den Quest. Did you ever try that out, or any thoughts on if it's worth doing to get that second Quicksilver?
Nah, I don't think it's worth it for this one. I think it's you just gamble and hope one drops. Maybe in the next race though.
Do you have any thoughts on what you might be trying on Wednesday, or is that a secret? Haven't practiced that yet? What are we looking at?
Oh, I'm going arc traps. I just hope that it's good enough. I gotta do some practice.
All right, I'm excited to see that happen. One last question from me, at least. Into the race, you have one death in Scepter. You're about 54 minutes heading up to Dominus. How did you feel at that point? Were you looking at chat? Do you know how everyone else was doing, or were you just head down?
I felt like I had a pretty good chance. I was getting death reports, and there was quite a few of them, so
Yeah.
I didn't expect to actually kill Dominus before Goratha. But I mean, I guess that's just what BV does. Just kind
Yeah,
of walk up and they all
I believe
die.
you started the Dominus fight almost full 2 minutes after him, and finished the fight before him. All right, anything else from you, Ziggy?
No, that's it for me. Thank you very much, Waggle. Congratulations, mate.
Yep, thanks.
Yep, congratulations. Excited to see you on Wednesday.
Same here. It looks like we will be able to get Rise in next. I believe he's actually already here, but he's muted. Rise, come on out, mate. Here he is.
Sorry. Stream delay. Lol.
Hello, Mr. Rise. Practice over RaizQT. Welcome. mate.
Rise
Tell
on
us about your
Suicide Watch. Oh my god.
Oh,
I
come
think
on,
I would have
buddy.
done that race better if I was blindfolded, straight up.
Dude, but in the end, though, it was so close. It was so close. You were neck and
Yeah, I
neck with
didn't know.
Goratha after all of that.
I
It was
didn't know.
insane.
I honestly, I was so proud of myself because after the first two rips, I'm like, I'm actually not tilted. Like, I'm still feeling good, you know? There's a lot of ground that I gotta make up. And then I think I got like 4 masters in a row and 2 corrupted zones. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'm tilted now. And then that was followed up by like 4 more masters after like 2 zones in a row too. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I think I'm tilted now. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, we could. I got the feeling towards the end that you just didn't know that like anyone would kind of have as many deaths as that and have as rough a time, and that you would still have a shot at it, and that it would be so close in the end that it would be almost like 3-way neck and neck between you guys and UberElite right there for a while. Did you?
No,
Did you know?
I had no idea.
You had no idea.
I turned everything off. I just turned chat off from the get go. I never raced with chat, but honestly, with such a stacked group, I was like, get under 50 or bust, and typically I can get under 50 pretty consistently with no rips. Yeah, not so much in this run. Quite the tilter.
So before that first death, you had movement speed off the vendor. You had 2 quicksilvers.
Yeah.
How excited were you at that point?
Oh no, I got the second quicksilver I think after the rip.
Oh, was it after the first rip?
Yeah, I think so. But that was absolutely my fault. I was like, oh okay, this was just, I put myself in that situation. I gotta make up for this. That's fine. Then I think I got the quicksilver, or maybe I already had the second. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna be absolutely fine. I can still make up for this. I'm pretty good at doing Dominus races. But yeah, I was feeling great for the start, but then everything just kept falling apart further and further. Paired up with bad play, just didn't make for a great race for me.
Hey, you still
like-
you still had a pretty good time. I mean, without the 5 rips, you had a pretty respectable time, I would say.
I don't know. It wasn't up to my part, and like I said, I didn't know what the other people were doing, and typically I was used to very different times. In the previous Dominus race, I think I had like a 51 or something, and I was pretty disappointed with that. So, yeah.
So what are you expecting to see out of the races on Wednesday? What do you think is going to be the optimal Katava kill build?
Ooh, I've been hearing some really crazy stuff about maybe some ranger strategies and also some arc strategies. I've tested it out a little bit and it looked interesting, but yeah, I see a lot of people betting on quick and safe boss kills in Act 4 and Act 5, so I'm excited to see that. I wanted to try it out myself, but haha, guess I won't.
So you heard about the arc trap. What are these ranger strats you've heard about? And do you think they will make a? Do you think they'll make a presence, or do you think people will actually do them?
Possibly. I don't really see much of an advantage to it, to be honest. Maybe being a little bit more under level and just having like safer fights. Maybe just betting on a great weapon. I'm not exactly sure. I can see the advantage of the arc trap, definitely, but the ranger strats, I don't know.
All right, well, thank you so much for the interview, and the race was really fun to watch. You and Goratha, with your rips and times, were neck and neck for. We were just freaking out, and then watching Uber
really
come from behind.
That's even more tilting. See, because I thought I'm like 10 minutes behind from the get go.
You should rewatch the race, at least the end,
no.
right? It's nutty, man.
I think Goratha got punched by Piety twice, which made him 1 death behind you. Died again on Dominus, so you were neck and neck on deaths. And then Uber, just slow and steady, was able to come from behind and take the win.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't know any of that. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Oh man,
You should
that's a
rewatch
good
it,
race to
it's
watch then.
Yeah, definitely. All right, thank you, mate.
Thanks very much. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for doing all of this stuff.
Cheers. Looks like we are getting Goratha in here next. Who I believe is in here.
Oh, hello.
Hello there, Goratha. How are you going, mate?
I mean, I could be better.
You could be better.
Could be better. I mean, I don't have to practice for Katava now, so there's a plus.
Fair enough. It's a rather long race to practice for, I guess. Tell us a little bit about your race here, because this was a crazy one, man.
Well, everything was going well until Piety. I was going really fast. And then, like, I took my
How good were
leaf
you
limb
feeling
out.
before the piety deaths? Like, were you happy with how your race was going up until then?
I was even actually fine after the piety deaths. Where I really wasn't okay anymore is when I was leaping an upper scepter, and I leapt over a blue pack. While I was leaping, I died midair, and I was clicking where the cursor was, happened to be Resurrected Town.
Oh,
So I
no,
clicked
that's what
Resurrected
happened.
Town,
Oh,
and it had no
we did
waypoints.
see that happen, and I realized it later that you could have resurrected where you were. And I was just,
Oh yeah, you didn't see me waste 3 minutes because I didn't have any waypoints.
oh, we saw you all the way back, and I was just confused why you opted resurrect in town. I didn't realize it was just a simple misclick.
I was clicking where I didn't even know I died yet. I was
Oh,
clicking
wow.
to leap, and I died midair, and I was like still clicking, and I clicked Resurrected Town because that's where my cursor was to leap.
Oh,
So
dude, that is
So at that point, when
brutal.
you made it all the way back to Dominus, you started fighting him. Were you already too tilted at that point? Is that what caused the?
Yeah, I was too
death of
tilted.
Dominus?
I was actually over already though.
Did you have any idea that you were still ahead of Rise and Uber hadn't even completed the race yet?
No, I was sort of done with the race though at that point. I was like, I'll just finish the race.
It was insane how like you and Rise both had no idea how close it was at the end there. That you were both duking out for second, and that even Uber was duking out for second at that exact moment. You guys were like in a three-way tie right then and there, and none of you guys knew. You were just focused on your own thing. Like both of you guys were dejected at that point. Like you were like, we can't win this.
Yeah, I was sort of done with the race after the Resurrected Town incident.
Oh yeah, that is.
What
I
if
can
it's whether it-
understandable that would put you on tilt.
I actually got a clip of it. Not sure if you guys want to show that.
That would be maybe Havoc could bring that up possibly. It would be pretty cool to have a clip of that.
Because I've never actually had anything like that happen to me before in a race.
Yeah, that is a particularly brutal one. If you
If you died that quickly.
No, like this the whole combination of like Resurrecting Town. Yeah.
Havoc
Yeah.
says 1 moment. It looks like we can get the instant replay technology. If you have the clip link posted in the semifinals chat, Goratha, and we'll get an instant replay for the viewers right now.
So while we're waiting for that, what do you think is going to be the optimal strats on Wednesday? Do you have any clue what the race is going to decide to go with? Or what you might have
Thunder
yourself
Leaf
gone
Fan.
with?
Waggle's probably gonna go Arc Traps. I would say Uber's probably gonna go Arc Traps, and then Dim's gonna go Thunder.
What do you think is going to be the superior strategy?
I think Thunder's gonna win.
You think so? All right. Goratha's calling it right now.
Yeah,
Arc
apparently
Traps is the
the,
boss is faster, but like, you can't compete with Leaf Slam.
the clip is up. I'm having a look at that now. Oh no, yeah. That's just brutal. It was like as soon as that box clicked. Do you tend to spam click a little bit as you're moving your mouse around, or was that just like a perfectly timed click?
It happened to be timed perfectly.
Oh no! Because I'm a bit of a
so
spam
unfortunate.
clicker, so I could see how I would do that, just spam clicking around the screen and then it appears. That is brutal.
So-
Oh, we're getting a slow mo replay here.
Looks like you get shocked right off the bat. Oh, it was definitely that's just so
It
unfortunate.
looks on slow motion. It looks intentional. Stop.
That would have been really interesting to see without that rip. Not dying to Dominus, you might have actually been able to secure
Without
enough
that
time
yeah.
to be.
I was okay at this point. Like, I was feeling fine. So
Your timer's
Honestly,
at
even if-
42:38 or 49:38, plus the 3-minute penalty, plus the 2 minutes. It would have been at that point. It might have been really close for you and Uber, but you did still have the death on Dominus. Do you think you would have avoided that if you hadn't died earlier?
probably, I probably would have played safer. At
Fair
that
enough.
point, I was done.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Understandable.
I think we have time for one more interview before we take a break for the next race.
Thank you, Goratha. Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
We have Dead and Doom, the winner of the previous race in here. G'day, mate, and welcome.
Hi guys. How are you doing?
Good to speak to you again. Very good. We've had some very entertaining races to cast today. So thank you for your part in that. You had what looked like a pretty damn smooth race, man. What were your thoughts on your semifinals?
Yeah, the pretty good run. The only thing I'm not happy about is the actual Dominus fight itself. It took like way too long. But I got good layouts. Not bad item RNG, so overall, yeah, definitely a good run.
What we've been talking a lot about this upcoming race. Since you had a pretty smooth race, we thought we'll talk a little bit about the upcoming strategy. What do you think? We're seeing a bit of dissension in terms of what people are going for.
I think Sunder has more potential, but Arc is way safer for Kitava race.
Someone saying that you beat your own time with Arc, was that true?
Yeah, that was an Act 10 race, so I did lab and like passive points as well.
Ah, right, for the Act 10. Yeah, there's a lot more boss killing there, so the safety on the boss killing, I guess, is the big advantage for the Arc Traps then?
Yeah, bosses are way faster than Arc on Sunder. And since Act 4 has like 9 bosses or something in it, you save a lot of time there.
Okay.
And how confident are you feeling right now? You the first set of races, you beat everyone by 3 minutes. This set of races, you beat Fikar by 3 minutes, everyone else by, 6 minutes, 7 minutes? So that has to be pretty good of an ego boost right there.
Yeah, I mean, generally the rule for me is the longer the race, the higher the chance I have of winning because it's less RNG based. We'll see.
Okay.
I don't. Nobody ever does like X4 and X5 runs, except me. So, but we have like 3 days left, so I don't know how much people are gonna practice.
Now, are you gonna be practicing any other strats, or are you just gonna only practice the Leap Slam Sunder strats?
I might do an Arc run to test it again, but yeah, Sunder or Arc is what it's gonna be for sure.
You don't think Blade Vortex stands a chance? We saw how quickly Waggle was able to kill Piety and Dominus. You see that it's gonna have the same damage later on.
Problem with Blade Vortex is like Arc just kills way more mobs than Blade Vortex. It's fine in like a Dominus race because you only need level 21, but in a Kitava race you really want like level 36 at least.
So you're saying you think 36 would be level people are gonna be aiming for on Wednesday?
On Thunder, yeah. On Arc it's probably even gonna be higher just because Arc destroys the entire screen.
Alright, well I'm excited to see that.
I look forward to the race as well. Thank you very much, Dead and Doom. Appreciate it, mate. And congrats on both setting a world record in the first set of races and a very smooth race today as well.
Thank you.
I'm excited to watch you on Wednesday as well.
Same here.
Alright, I think there's going to be a small break before the fun race. Do you have any information on the fun race, Ziggy?
I do, in only a few minutes actually, so we're going to have to take a very quick break. We have a novelty race coming up, a fun race to end the day for you guys. It is going to be 30 minutes to grab as much levels and gear as much as possible, and then there's going to be a PvP tournament using the PvP challenge feature to determine who can, in that time, come up with the best build and get the best gear to beat down their opponents. It should be an interesting one. We have, I'm not sure if the participants have changed exactly. We had Starflower, Catmaster OP, Don the Crown, and Octavian O lined up. I'm not sure if that has changed too much, but either way, it's going to be, I think, a lot of fun. So stick around for that. We'll have that in a few minutes. Do you know if are you joining me for that, Helmet?
I believe I am. So excited to see it, and
Awesome.
we'll see you all in a few minutes for the next race.
All right, we're gonna go set up. See you guys soon.